Hello everybody, happy Friday. I am so excited for this weekend here in Edmonton. It is going to be a gorgeous weekend. We'll ignore Sunday. Sunday we're supposed to get snow again, but this weekend is going to be so gorgeous and I can't wait. I actually took yesterday afternoon off of my day job. And I went outside and I built myself a potting bench. So I'm going to be spending tomorrow outside staining it before the snow comes. But it was so gorgeous out there yesterday afternoon. I wish I could have taken today off too so that I could be outside because it is gorgeous. I just went to check on the temperature out there and it's pushing 15 degrees, which I'm so excited about. But anyway, I've got a really fun book actually that we're creating today. I'm going to be switching up my Facebook Lives a little bit. Instead of making it Fancy Fold Friday, we're just going to do straight Facebook Live Friday. So I'll show you different projects. I'll still show you fancy folds, cards, techniques. I'll kind of show you everything. So we're not going to show you just fancy folds anymore on Friday, but it'll be a little bit of everything going forward. So before we get into our little book that we're going to be making, I just want to make sure that you take a screenshot of the April hostess code. So if you are planning on placing an order this month under $200, make sure that you use this hostess code. It is KZZB3FFY. For all orders placed using this hostess code, your name will be entered into a draw to win the hostess benefits for this month. If you're going to be spending over $200, do not use this code because Stampin' Up! Will automatically give you some free product. So there's no point in using the code if you're going to already get it. Another thing to consider as well is if you are regularly placing orders of $200 or more, you may want to look at getting your own demonstrator ID. What that gives you is an additional 20% off all future orders. So it's well worth it. There's no commitment to sell if you get a demonstrator ID number. The only commitment you get is a 20% permanent discount. So it's well worth it. So let's just get into our book that I have today. So this is what it looks like. Super cute. The way it works, so I've double knotted this. You don't have to. You could have just tied a bow, but I used the Snail Mail Product Suite to make this. So that's the snail mail twine. But so that just slides off, and there's a couple of pockets inside. So on the left side, I've got some envelopes. I have not stamped them. They're just blank envelopes. And on the right side, I've put a few different snail mail cards. Okay. So this would make actually a great gift for someone if you wanted to give them a few cards so that they can hand them out to friends and family. This is a super fun project for them. So I'm just going to set this aside, and before we get into making our book, I just want to show you guys an upcoming card class I'm having. The card class is going to be on April 29th. The deadline to register is today. The cost is $35 and it includes this cute little adorable Oh Snap stamp set. So if you're interested, make sure you send me a message. I'll be placing an order for the stamp sets tomorrow. So you have till end of day to sign up. And these are the cute little cards that we're going to be making at that class. The class will be via Zoom because we can't get together in person yet. So it's very COVID safe. As well, I just want to make sure I mention a couple other things before we get going because I've got a little bit of a list here. We've got our last chance product sale going on, and there are some things that are selling out, so make sure you take a look at that list and get your order in before it's too late, as the products on that list will only be available until the end of April. And it's while supplies last, so if they sell out, they sell out. Unfortunately, you're out of luck. I don't know if you remember, but back in January, February, we had a promotion going on called Celebration, and I have got some extra Celebration products available. So if you place a minimum $60 order this month, you'll get to pick from some of the celebration items I have. So this is extended to my customers only. This is not put on by Stampin' Up. This is just something I'm doing for you to give you guys some more free stuff. And oh, make sure you like and share my video because I will do some draws to give some folks some of the cards and products that I make during my Facebook Lives. Alright, so I'll just show you again for those of you who are just joining me what we're going to be making. So this is the sleeve that went on this cute little booklet, and this booklet holds envelopes and some cards, and I'm using the Snail Mail Product Suite to make this. So, first step is you're going to want a piece of your thick basic white cardstock. This measures 6 inches by 11 inches, and it's scored at 5 inches and 6 inches. And I'm just going to take my bone folder here, and I'm going to burnish my score lines. And fold it over again. So you're just going to fold it into the shape of like a little book. Just like that, okay? Now, to decorate the front and back of our book, you are going to need 2 pieces of cardstock that measure 4 3/4 by 5 3/4, okay? And then you'll need 2 pieces of designer series paper. These measure 4 5/8 by 5 5/8, okay? And what I'm going to do is I am just going to glue my designer series paper to my real red cardstock. And I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal to do that. So I'm going to put a couple strips here. Line it up. Do the same thing with this one. I just love the color scheme in this product suite. The reds and the coastal cabanas and the pinks. It's just, those are, I think that's my favorite color combo. There we go. Perfect. Stick that down as well. Just like that. And then I'm going to glue them to the front and back of my little booklet. And to glue them, I'm actually just going to use some mono multi-glue, because this way it gives me a little bit of wiggle room to get it into the spot where I want it to sit. And with mono multi-glue, you don't really need that much. A little bit goes a long way, so that's what's kind of nice about it as well. Alright. Actually, I think right about there, I'm happy with that. Do the same thing with this other piece. Just like so. Okay. Alright, so this will be, I guess, the front. Stick that down. And then I need to decorate my spine. So I've got a piece of the real red cardstock that measures 3/4 inch by 5 3/4. And then I've got a piece of DSP that measures 5/8 inch by 5 5/8 inch. And I am going to use my mono multi-glue again, and I'm just going to glue the DSP onto the strip. A little bit down the middle. Got a little bit of glue on my desk. Okay, so I'm going to glue this down for my spine. And then I'm going to glue this again onto my booklet using mono multi-glue. Just do some strips. And just like so. Okay, I've got glue all over my fingers now and they're sticky. Of course I did, right? There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to flip this over, and on the inside I'm also going to put a decorative spine. So let me just get that here. So I have got a piece of a coastal cabana, I believe. Let me just make sure I've got the right color here. Oh no, sorry, Bermuda Bay. This is Bermuda Bay cardstock. This one measures 3/4 of an inch by 5 3/4 of an inch, and I got another strip of the designer series paper. This measures 5/8 inch by 5 5/8 inch. And I'm going to use this mono multi-glue. Hopefully I don't make another glue mess because my hands are all sticky now. Good thing it's washable. Alright, so stick that down on my Bermuda Bay cardstock. And then I'm going to glue this down onto the inside of my spine. And this is more just a decorative piece. So I'll stick that down there. Ta-da! Okay, so now I've got to work on the pockets. Now if you'd like, and you'd like to decorate this a little bit more, you could put some designer series paper on the inside as well, but I've just chose to leave it white. So I've got some Bermuda Bay cardstock here. These pieces measure 3.5 inches by 5.5 inches, and you're going to score it on 3 sides at 1/4 of an inch and 1/2 inch on each of those 3 sides. So I'll show you how I did that. So I've already done it to this one here. So I'm just going to get my Stampin' trimmer out, and I'm going to put the trimmer to the top because I don't need it. I'm going to be using this light gray scoring tool. And I'm just going to line this up at 1/4 of an inch and then 1/2 inch. So there's one side. We've got 2 sides. And the third side at 1/4 of an inch and 1/2 inch. Okay. I'm just going to set this aside. And I'm just going to get out my paper snips here. And in the corner, you're going to cut off each one of these squares. And I kind of do it at a bit of an angle so that it looks like that. Okay. I'm going to cut off this one. So you're cutting right to the 1/2 inch mark on both corners. Okay. Do that to this one as well. Just like so. And here. And here. Okay, so now I am going to fold these edges. So I'm folding the 1/2 inch mark and the 1/4 inch mark so that it sort of looks like that. If you can see that shape there. So I'm kind of making like a box. Do the same thing on the other 2 sides. Okay. Oops, forgot the bottom on this one. So fold it, burnish, and burnish. Do the same thing here. So we're creating 2 little like pockets for the inside of our little book. Fold, fold, fold. If you are a new or beginner stamper and you don't have a bone folder yet, I highly recommend this being one of the first tools that you pick up. So I usually suggest adhesive, scissors, bone folder. There are some things that you're going to need if you're a new stamper that just make your life easier. So what I've got here is some tear and tape adhesive. So on the between the 1/4 inch mark and the edge of the paper, as you can see here, I am putting a strip of tear and tape adhesive. So I'm going to do that on all 3 sides. And luckily this tear and tape adhesive is exactly 1/4 of an inch, so it fits perfectly onto that little edge. I'm going to do this on both of my pockets. Like so. This little booklet would be great for any product suite. And then you could put like some coordinating cards on the inside and stamp your envelopes. It'd make a really nice little gift. You could also make the pockets deeper if you'd like and your booklet deeper. It just depends on how many cards and envelopes you want to put in there, but I find that for this side, 3 cards fits really nice. You could probably squeeze 4, but... Alright, so on the bottom of my pocket, I've just removed the backing on the tear and tape adhesive, and I'm just going to line it at the bottom, about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom, and kind of center it. Okay, so it looks just like that. Alright, now I'm going to remove the backing. I need to get my Take Your Pick tool. This is another really handy tool if you're a newer beginner stamper. I use it for everything because I have fake nails and they don't always grab stuff like this. Alright, so now I've taken the backing off my tear and tape, so I'm just going to try to like make my pocket shape, and then I'm just going to line this up and push it down. See how it sits like that? And to make sure the tear and tape is sticking, I use my bone folder and I stick it inside and I just push those edges down. Okay. So now if I take, I just got 1 envelope here, but if I take an envelope, it'll fit nicely inside, just like that. Oh, you know what I forgot to do before I glue that down is decorate my pocket. So I've got a couple pieces of designer series paper that measure 4 3/8 inch by 2 7/8 inch. And normally what I do is before I put my pocket down, I would put this on top. So I'm just going to use my mono multi-glue. And we'll decorate this pocket, and then I'll decorate the other pocket before I glue it down on the inside. Alright, so just like that. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to put this designer series paper on this other pocket now before I glue it down. Okay. This here. Okay, so now we're going to attach this last pocket. So again, you do your backing or your bottom piece first. Remove the backing from the tear and tape. And I'm just going to line it up sort of at the bottom, about 1/4 inch up and 1/4 inch from the left and right. Oops. There we go, just like that. And then I'm going to remove the backings on my sides. And after this pocket is down, all we have to do is make like our little band to hold the booklet together. And you don't even have to make the band. You could just decorate the front of your book if you don't want the band like that, or you could just tie a piece of ribbon around. So I'm just making sure. There, so the inside of our booklet is done. So this is the band I'm talking about, okay? So what I've done is I've taken a piece of real red cardstock. I guess you could call this a band or a belt. It started off measuring 2 inches by 11 inches. And then I used our scalloped tag topper punch. Now this is on our last chance product list. I believe it's still available. So if you don't have this one yet and you like it, make sure you pick it up before they sell out. But I just went ahead and I punched both the ends. And now I'm going to get out my Stampin' trimmer again, and we are going to do some score lines. So let me just get this out here. Okay, so I'm going to put this in, and we are going to do a score line at 3 1/4. So I'm going to line the tip of my little scallop tag topper at 3 1/4 inch. I'm just going to put my cutting tool up at the top here so I don't cut it. I only want to score. So I'm going to score at 3 1/4. And then 4 3/8. And then 9 3/8. And then 9 7/8. Yes, okay, so that looks perfect. And I'm going to close this up and put my trimmer away. And now I'm just going to fold all these edges. Okay, fold them. And one more we're going to do. Okay, so that's how our like belt looks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it around the middle of my book. Just like so. And then I'm going to take some of that snail mail twine. So it comes in a little pack of 2 like this. So you basically got this basic white, and I believe this is Blushing Bride twine. And I'm just going to take some of this, cut a couple of pieces the same length. I'd say this is about 12 to 16 inches. And I'm just going to loop it through my tag topper. Just like so. I'm trying to keep them the same length. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other one. So I went and I pulled it tight and put my finger there, and I tied a knot just to hold it in place. If you're really good at tying tight bows, you could do it that way. But I am not, so I'm going to do a knot first. And then put my bow there. Oops. Because I'm horrible at tying bows. I'm just not good at them. Okay, so there's my bow, and now we're just going to decorate the front. So what I've got is I've got a piece of scrap Bermuda Bay cardstock and a piece of scrap Designer Series paper that coordinates, and I've got my 2 1/4 inch punch, and I'm going to take a piece of the cardstock and punch a circle. I'm going to take the DSB and punch a circle. And then I'm just going to glue them together. And the reason why I did that is because I just wanted my DSB to be a little bit sturdier. So I'm just going to use some mono multi-glue. Stick that onto my cardstock. Just like so. And I'm going to get a couple of these dimensionals and just throw them on the back. And I'm just going to put this right about here. Okay. And then as you can see on my other belt I've got this cute little envelope. So to get this envelope is actually a die from this product suite. So this is what the die looks like. So I'm just going to set this aside for a second. And I'm going to get my little mini boss. So get my plates ready. So I've got a scrap piece of Blushing Bride cardstock. And I'm just going to put my die on there. What I really like about this product suite is actually I think all of the dies fit in the mini boss. Oh, how come it is not going through? Let's try this again. Maybe it just wants to go the other way. How about we do it this way? Oh yes, it wants to go the other way. Okay. Ugh. Alright, so I've got my little envelope cut out. Let's throw this away, put my die aside. And so the way you assemble it, so it's even got little score lines to make your envelope. So I'm just going to make this cute little envelope here. So the way I assembled this is I pulled one of the sides in and I put a little dot of mono multi-glue and put this one over top. And then along the edge I put some mono multi-glue and closed up the flap, and I left it open, and I'm just going to glue it flat onto my circle that I created. So I put some mono multi-glue on there, and I'm going to stick it just like that. Okay, and then I've got a scrap piece of basic white cardstock, And I am going to take this cute little Happy Mail enclosed stamp from this set, and I'm going to use some Memento ink. And this stamped image will actually go really well with our postage punch. So I'm just going to stamp that down. And here is our fun postage punch. Let me just get this in here, and I'm going to punch this out. Just like so. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clean off this same stamp. And I'm going to get some real red ink. And I'm just going to ink up the half with the envelope because I want my envelope on here to be red. So I just went, you can see how I just stamped half the image there. Put my ink away. Clean off my stamp set. There we go. Okay, and now this set also has a cute little die to cut out this envelope. So that's what I'm going to do here. I've got a piece of old washi tape that I'm just going to hold my die down. And I'm going to pull in my mini boss. See if it wants to go this way this time. Oh yes. I'm going to die cut out my little envelope. Then I'm just going to set my mini boss aside because I don't need it anymore. And what I like about my scrap washi tape is it just kind of holds my die in place so it doesn't move, but it doesn't hurt the cardstock when I peel it away. And I'm going to actually stick it on my postage punched image with a little mini dimensional, just like so. And then on the back, I am just going to put one dimensional at the top. And I'm going to bring in my book here with the envelope, and I'm going to tuck this inside the envelope and push my little image down. And there you go. That's it. That's this cute little book. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial and that you have fun making your own booklets for your friends and family so that you can gift them. I see I had a lot of people join me today, so thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a fantastic Friday and weekend. I hope you get to get outside and enjoy this gorgeous spring weather we're having. Happy stamping!